What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So this episode we're gonna be doing the all-wheel drive swap on project DSM over here. So obviously in the last video you saw I pulled the motor out of this, basically leaving everything else in here for now. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be swapping out, but I think this is fine where it sits right now. So I'm gonna get this thing up on the lift, and we're gonna have to drop the whole rear subframe. We're also gonna have to take the interior apart in the trunk area, because we'll have to, like I said, cut a hole in that metal skin in the trunk, and I'm gonna have to drop in new studs. Then after I drop the studs in, I'm not gonna weld them in until I bolt up the subframe, make sure that everything aligns. Then I'm gonna weld the studs while the subframe is bolted in. And then I do still have to get this subframe kind of coated with some rust reformers, stuff like that, just to kind of prevent the rust from spreading any worse than it already has on that thing. So yeah, I guess let's jump right into it. Also, if there's any diehard DSM people watching this video, I've been wondering about this lip kit that's on this car. Is that original? Because I mean, these look like 2GB side skirts. There's a couple of minor differences that I've noticed. Like this here is a lot sharper, so I just thought like this edge. So I figured that these were just aftermarket, and then I figured somebody painted them silver or gray, whatever that is on the bottom there. But it does match throughout the whole car. And also I saw a 1GA or a 2GA on Instagram, and it had the same silver thing on the bottom, so I figured that can't be a coincidence. So let me know in the comments if that's factory option for this thing. Dude, this is crazy. Look at that bracket. Look at that freaking nut. It looks like brand new. So what I just did was I unbolted this control arm over here. So as you can see, it's moving up and down, the bolt's out. I unbolted the upper control arm. So that's obviously off. And I took off the shocks on the bottom. So the shock is staying with the car, but the spindle is dropping down. So there's a few things I gotta still do. One of which is I gotta disconnect the e-brake cables. I'm just gonna pull them off with the whole suspension, so I just gotta take them off in the car, disconnect them from the lever, and pull them through here. And I actually think that's it. That's the only thing I have left to do. Then I can unbolt the subframe, which is 4 bolts or 4 nuts, right there and right there, and then right there and right there, and then the whole thing's just gonna come down. So there is one more thing that I remembered. So I do have to disconnect the oxygen sensor, the downstream oxygen sensor. It's connected up right underneath the seat, right over here. So I just gotta take the seat out. Or at least unbolt it, move it back a little bit, disconnect it, and then shove the wire through the bottom. That way I can get that midsection of exhaust out. And then I'll be taking off this center console over here to remove the e-brake, like I said. here is what I was talking about. So this has to be disconnected, which all you gotta do to do that is just loosen up this nut right here. It's just a little adjustment nut, and that's just gonna let that go back farther towards the rear of the car and make those loose. Now you just slide this out. Alright, and now I believe that there is just two little brackets that hold the actual cable to the body. I believe that they're down in here. Take the seat out. All right, that is it inside of the car. Alright, so now we're ready to completely pull off the subframe. Alright, so now this should slide out. There's a grommet right here that's going to be pulled out too. Oh, that's being a little harder. There we go. Now that the suspension's off, I'm gonna drop the fuel tank. I do gotta go back up in there and disconnect the fuel lines as well as the connector on the fuel pump and the level sender. So I'm gonna go in there, get that disconnected, and then come back down and, put the car back up and unbolt the fuel tank and drop that. And that's gonna be that. So for now, I'm gonna stop taking apart the interior. I think it's at a good point where I can extract those studs and give myself enough room and clearance to insert the new ones, the longer ones. So this is where I'm at right now. Obviously, you can see it's all taken apart. So I believe that rear stud is somewhere about right here. That's where we're gonna have to drill this. I'm just gonna do a hole saw, drill a hole through, and I believe it's, if I can remember correctly, it's pretty easy to find the studs or whatever. And then the front ones are actually on this side of the tower. They're somewhere in this general area. I'm gonna try to map it out so I don't have to make the hole bigger than it needs to be. So I'm in the middle of editing the all-wheel drive swap video, and I'm realizing that it's going to be way too long for just one video. So I'm going to split it up into, I think, at least 3 sections. This is going to be the end of part 1. So basically, in the next video, we're going to be cleaning up the subframe, getting it coated up, doing some pretty much preparing all the all-wheel drive parts to go into the GST, and then in the third video we'll actually put them all in. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, leave us a like, give us a comment. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Peace.